Hi everyone, meteorologist Chad Evans here with a look at your daily weather forecast video, sponsored always by Trent Johnson State Farm. TrentIsMyAgent.com. I think we got the audio issue resolved. It was a cable, so we fixed that cable, and I think we're in good shape. I can see my audio working now, it appears, on my screen. So that said, we've got dangerous cold coming in late tonight, tomorrow, and then snow. And then kind of a second mini shot of dangerous cold coming in late weekend, early week. Then a little bit of lulling. Got to watch for more snow. And a second, remember that second Arctic outbreak coming in with temperatures way below zero. The second round of cold will be worse and longer lasting than the first one. And then after that, finally into February, we get a warm up before temperatures tank late in February. We may have a later season winter weather event with snow and ice. Again, that'd be late February to perhaps very early March. So there's a lot to talk about. You know, as of 1:45, with some high thin cirrus clouds and a few cumulus clouds around, temperatures are 25 to 32 with breezy to windy conditions. This after highs yesterday at 35 to 46 and lows this morning at 13 to 19. The winter storm watch is up. It's for the southern and southeastern counties: Tippecanoe, Carroll, Clinton, Howard, Tipton, Boone, Fountain, Vermilion, Park, Montgomery, and Warren counties for snowfall that is ahead. And the Clippers here, now there's a storm off California. The mountains will rip this up. A new low will form here on the lee side of the Rockies and drop into Texas. We call that lee cyclogenesis. You go from mountains to the flat plains very quickly, so the vorticity really tightens up as you go from that high elevation to a lower, flatter elevation. And this is a nursery bed for low pressure systems, for lows to form. And as we form the big storm here, as the deep tropical moisture feeds it, it will then move to the northeast, and this phased storm will impact us. We already see the Clipper. It's snowing in Alberta. It's snowing in Calgary with visibility 1.5 miles. It's been as low as a half mile. So I always say, if you're going to forecast locally, you got to look globally, and we're already tracking the Clipper that's coming in and the rain with the other storm system coming into LA that will reform down in Colorado and then down towards Texas. Here are your high thin cirrus clouds, a few little cumulus clouds here. That's pretty benign, but this is your Arctic front to the northwest. This may have a few flurries and snow showers with it tonight. If there's any accumulation, just a couple light local dustings, but what it will do is it will crank up the wind, and it is going to bring in the brutal cold as well. Brutally cold tomorrow, brutally cold tomorrow night. We cloud up Saturday, and then we'll see something like this. The snow tries to fall Saturday afternoon, but it can't because the air is too dry. We can see that when we take a cross section of the atmosphere. We're not quite saturated yet, and near the ground it's much drier. So this will be virga, snow that's trying to fall but can't make it to the ground. Eventually we will saturate everything through, and we're going to get snow down to the ground, especially Saturday night and into Sunday. And snowfall totals should vary from 1 to 5 inches from north to south. Original thinking was maybe a few to several inches of snow, and then I went with 1 to 4. And now today I increased the south a little bit. I went 1 to 5 inches from far north to the south and the southeast. Here's a closer view. Again, this will be the snowfall Saturday night up to Sunday evening. Anywhere from 1.5 inches here in the far northwest. And then you start getting into the 2s right here, and then the 2s to 3s in this zone. And then you get 3s and 4s, and finally, some areas will be around 5 in the far south and the southeast. So 1 to 3 Lake Village, Rensselaer, Rochester, 12 Mile, Royal Center, Monticello, Fowler. You get into the 3 to 5s from about Attica and Covington over to Lafayette, Flora, Galveston, Kokomo, Tipton, Lebanon, and then southward all the way to Rockville, Montezuma. Remember, in this 1 to 3 inch zone, closer to 1 to 1.5 inches up here. Down here, it's more like 3. Within that 3 to 5 zone, it's more like 3 here, and more like 5 down here. In a lot of places, it'll be about 4 right in the middle. Now, could this heavier snow shift just a little bit north? It could. We've got to watch that closely. Could it shift a hair south? got to watch that as well. But I think this is I'm still kind of going with what I was thinking before, and I think this is a good idea of what will likely transpire. But the thing is, as the storm pulls away, you've got strong winds. You're going to have pretty strong winds during the snow from the northeast, then they go north, and then they go to the northwest. So blowing and drifting will be a big deal because the snow will be dry and powdery, and it's going to blow around a lot. Though the steady snows pull away Sunday early afternoon, you still may have a few snow showers around Sunday evening, night, and into part of Monday, and even that tiny little bit of extra fluffy snow will blow around and just add to it. Monday to next Friday though, so I do think a couple weak clippers come through mid to late next week, which will warm it up. But then we got to watch another round of Arctic air and another phasing. There's a clipper here. A storm will be coming into Texas. You see the two right here? Some of the data suggests that yes, there'll be a phasing, but the storm stays south of us, and we get a big snow here deep into the south, and then we form a blizzard, a big nor'easter in the northeast. I think this could be farther north. Where you see the blue, whoops, I got hooked on my mic. Let me make sure my cord still works so I still have audio. I don't want to, yep, I still have audio, that's good. So I think this blue, this snow could be farther north. Now I said blizzard, that's not for us. That's only if we see a coastal storm form, almost a bomb cyclone form on the East Coast. But this will likely track if we get a phasing farther north, and I think it could bring us accumulating snow. Certainly bears watching. If there's no phasing, we don't get as much snow. If there is a phasing, this may track north and we get more substantial snowfall. All right, first cold wave. Two little mini waves, right? You get one burst of it tomorrow, another burst of it late weekend, early next week. Then it warms. Then we get the second wave of brutally cold air in here. That is stronger and longer lasting, temperatures way below zero, but then it warms up. We bleed the supply. Note the oranges and reds upstream, so temperatures above normal. And this could continue on for a while. I think that February 7th to 17th period, fairly mild weather. We'll probably have a few spring-like days where we're in the 50s and even the 60s. As a positive EPO, we're kind of bathed in Pacific air during that period. But late February, very early March, look at this. Much colder weather comes in, and I do expect late season snow and icing to impact our area. When we look at February 5th to March 4th, now precip is below normal or normal at first. Then it goes above normal. We get some rain actually, perhaps some thunderstorms in mid-February. But then late February, early March, when it's much colder, look at this. Look at all this green. This is a pretty active storm track. And if it's going to be cold up in our area, it's a good setup for snow and icing. Dangerously cold, 2 below zero for the low tonight with winds cranking up, few flurries and snow showers. There are the lows at 7 below zero to 2 above from northwest to southeast. Note these wind chills though that will be at their lowest by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, anywhere from 29 below at Wheatfield, near 20 below in Greater Lafayette, 25 below zero at Monticello, and about 17 to 19 below zero in our southern counties. If you have to be out in the morning, and the kids will be going off to school as well, you just want to be completely covered up given wind chills of 30 below to 17 below zero in the area. Now it's still kind of brutally cold right into the afternoon. The high's 5, but we may fall some in the afternoon. At 3 o'clock, temperatures are only running 2 below zero to 7. And even then your wind chills will still be running about 23 below to 10 below zero with hazy sunshine around. And one thing you may notice tomorrow and tomorrow morning, because the snow growth zone is near the ground level, there'll be ice crystals in the air, in the sky, and you'll see sundogs, maybe a perihelix circle around the sun. You may also see a halo around the sun on Saturday as the high thin cirrus clouds increase and thicken. With time, the sun will slowly fade away. This will be virga, or snow that's drying up on the way down, afternoon to early evening. We finally start to get some snow likely down to the ground with time in the evening, but the wind cranks up from the northeast, and after a -4 low, a high of 12, and highs only 9 to 14 with wind chills 8 below 0 to 0 in the afternoon, and in the morning wind chills 22 below to 10 below 0. So the snow steady. After steady snow for part of Sunday, we go to some showers in the afternoon, but windy, blowing and drifting snow 12, 11 then falling Monday, 0 in the morning, 6 below 0, then starting to rise Monday night, windy and 20, more blowing snow on Tuesday, blowing snow Wednesday, 27 then falling, couple snow showers, few snow showers Thursday, windy and 29, more blowing snow. And then it gets brutally cold again, and we got to watch a phasing coming up a week from this weekend, and eventually temperatures dropping way below 0.